What's up, everybody? Oh, goodness sake, man. I do that sometime. What's up, everybody? It's HBT with Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys. I am coming to you live, man. I'm coming to you live, and I'm going to talk about some things that happened in professional wrestling this week. I'm going to start out with Monday Night Raw, guys. I'm going to start out with Monday Night Raw. Then I'm going to roll into Wednesday Night Dynamite. Well, I'm going to talk about NXT a little bit. Wednesday Night Dynamite. Thursday night, didn't do anything. Did not watch TNA wrestling. Chris and I, we did do something Thursday. I'm not sure. I don't think, no, actually, we didn't do any streams or anything like that. Friday, like I said, last night we watched SmackDown, the draft for SmackDown, and we watched Level Up, guys, which was surprisingly a very good show, man. NXT Level Up. I think that's only like the second time I've seen it, and the first time I didn't watch the full show. So I do want to touch on that a little bit. I'm going to talk about Triple H. I'm going to talk about what I think about him as a booker. I'm going to talk about Tony Kahn too, man. And what I think about him as a booker, and as far as this new storyline that he has going on or whatever, as far as this thing that he had with the Young Bucks and Jungle Boy. So I definitely want to touch on that too, guys. Hey, but welcome into the Straight Up Wrestling Show, man. As you come in, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe, whatever you do, man. Whatever platform you're on, definitely do that. But hey, I appreciate you coming in, man, rocking on this Saturday. And on Saturday, I know a lot of people are out doing things. Whoa, sorry about that, guys. I know a lot of people are out doing things and everything like that. So a lot of people won't see this right here until later on. But hey, whoever comes in, man, it's fine or whatever. But if you see it later on, that's cool too. But yeah, I definitely want to come in because, hey, Monday night, man, Monday Night Raw. When we did Monday Night Raw, I was on here, Chris, and hey, the whole Straight Up Wrestling family. And pretty much I was just going off, man. I was going off. I was looking at the whole thing and saying a lot of things didn't make sense. Why they doing this? Why they doing that? And so, hey, I had my rant. I definitely had my rant. So, but hey, that's the way it goes. Sometimes, man, you got to go with the good and the bad. But hey, Monday night, I'm going to let you know exactly how I thought it started out. But yeah, I'm going to talk about, man, what's happening in wrestling this week. So first, man, let's go ahead and start off. I want to check something real quick, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start off talking about Tony Kahn. Tony Kahn this week. Tony Kahn, we did see, if you saw Wednesday Night Dynamite, which I did go back and watch it. We didn't do a live or anything like that. Went back and watched it. And, Tony Kahn is now in the storyline. I mean, he got punched in the gut by a returning Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy punched him in the gut, had the microphone in his hand. They asking him, hey, reinstate him. And, so basically, hey, man, let's let bygones be bygones and, seal it with a hug. They sealed it with a hug. And Jungle Boy pretty much hugged him and then pretty much backed him off a little bit and just, boom, punched him in the gut. Tony Khan went down like a sack of potatoes. And then, man, here come the Young Bucks, like they're going to help their boss, man, or their EVP partner, where they're the boss. They're the EVPs. So they act like they're going to help him. But you know what? Those guys, man, picked Tony Khan up. Looked like they was going to hit him with the famous knee jam up into the face, but they didn't decide to do that. But, these guys picked him up, power slammed him, pretty much worked him over. And he's laying there. He's laying there. And, they revel into the crowd or whatever. But, my whole thing is this. It was some parts of it was kind of funny, but then again, it wasn't. This is something that we've seen in wrestling before. Hey, it's an old take off of Eric Bischoff when the Outsiders came in, the Outsiders and the things that they did to Eric Bischoff. They threw him through the table. It was really, a devastating thing that happened back then, and it kicked off the NWO. This right here, man, in my opinion, fell a little flat. It was good. I could see what they was going for, but what I would have did, if I was booking this, I would have said, you continue to beat on Tony Khan, even if he's unconscious or whatever, continue to beat on him, dog him out or whatever. And then, then have wrestlers come out, have his dad come out, wrestlers come out to save his son. That would have been more dramatic. That right there would have added a little luster to it, which it definitely needed. But, you had the referee come out and say, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? pushing the guys back, man, trying to hold them back. And they just pretty much had a little smirk on their face, which they could easily overpower the referee, in which that's happened in the past, what they've done when they ran an angle like this. Only a few have ran an angle, sort of like this. But, and then you have the wrestlers come out, and you have wrestlers that can come out, they can pretty much handle them, AEW wrestlers. So then you could have started something up. And then maybe they could have took a lot of guys, man, who are not getting their shine over in Ring of Honor or something like that, and add those guys in with Tony, with the MVPs, or the EVPs, and they say, okay, we bringing these guys up. They part of our crew. You can have Shane Taylor, some of the guys that's really prominent in Ring of Honor that looks tough. Shane Taylor's crew, and some other guys, man. Even you might have could have maybe the Butcher join up with your crew or whatever, but have some really tough guys that's really gonna make your stable look really tough, and they could build a faction off that. And Tony Kahn will have to use his guys. They can pick on them, say, hey, Orange Cassidy. You have gave Orange Cassidy all these accolades. You have given him so much, and we're tired of it. We're tired of it. And then they can point out other people that he's given so much to. They can even throw in Sasha Banks in there. Even though Okada signed with him and got a lot, but Okada, basically they could take credit because Okada came in with them. They could pretty much take credit and say Okada came in with us. But they could pretty much go on him and say, okay, you're giving the Don Callis family a lot of things, and maybe that'll turn Don Callis, some of the family members, he might feel a little loyalty to Tony Khan or whatever, man. So you can do something like that, and you can have like Will Ospreay or whatever. Some of these people come in and they would have been fighting against the other group of the EVPs, the Young Bucks and Jungle Boys group. But you could have did something like that. But we'll see where it goes from here, man. I mean, he took it, and he took the neck brace, and he went on to the NFL draft, and he's, being seen on NFL Network, being seen on ESPN with this neck brace on, and pretty much putting the story out there. And that's something I think he shouldn't have done. I mean, I can understand when you low on your ratings, you're going to do everything you can to grab whoever you can. But the whole thing about it is, even if he grabs some wrestling, some people from the some people from the professional football community, they come over and see that if your product in the ring does not match the description that you're trying to put out here, that you're fighting against an evil empire, in the WWE. If you don't have a strong enough product, it's not gonna matter that they done that to your neck or anything like that. Even if it's scripted or whatever, you better have something spectacular. It better be like these people going in and, hey, they watching the version of the Terminator or Commando or Rambo or something. It's got to be something like going to a movie. It's got to be something very spectacular for what these people are going to see if you are drawing new fans. Because they're going to come in. These new fans will come in, and they're going to look at that, and they're going to say it's trash, and it's going to be another bad mark on wrestling. They're going to go out here, and they're going to speak on it. Now, a lot of these fans and these new fans you draw in, even if they're not wrestling fans, they've heard of the WWE. Now, they've heard of WWE. They can go over and watch to see what the WWE is doing and say, oh, that's pretty good. That's decent or whatever, even though I think they, the WWE, hey, they've fallen off too in a certain point, to a certain extent, they've fallen off too. And, that's what I'm going to get to. And I'm going to talk about Monday Night Raw. And hey, it was some, some of our Straight Up Wrestling family members and people in the comments didn't like exactly the way I was going at Monday Night Raw, man. But hey, when it boils down to it, hey, I was putting it down, talking about it and saying, I do not believe in Triple H and his booking, man. I think he's okay, but I do not think he's anything spectacular like a lot of people say. There's my man, Braden. Hey guys, good timing, Harry. Just got off work. All right, Braden, cool. I'm glad you got off work, man. I know you happy. I know you happy about that. But yeah, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna talk about that. And so I'm talking about Monday Night Raw, and I did rewatch Monday Night Raw. Watched it in its entirety. Did not have to. As far as when we was watching it Monday night, I was trying to catch up because I was doing something with, I can't remember what I was doing with my computer. I was trying to catch up, and I was trying to get all the, comments, catch up with all the comments and everything. So I was behind. I was just looking up and seeing what was going on. I was like, hey, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. So I pretty much was dogging out the product. But I'm gonna go ahead and lay this out as far as what I think about Tony Kahn. We use a 5-star rating system. If whoever's in here who's heard Chris and I, we use a 5-star rating system. Hey, 5 stars could be anywhere from an A to A plus. Then we have a 4-star that could be anywhere from a B to a B plus. And then we go down to a 3-star that could be anywhere from a C to a C plus. I have not Tony Kahn. I have Triple H at a 3.5-star rating right now as far as a booker, which is above average. So I give him like a C plus. He's doing pretty good. But can he do better? Yes, he can do a lot better, especially with all that talent that he has. I believe he can be a lot better booker than what he actually is, man. But yeah, let me go ahead and get into that Monday Night Raw. Like I said, hey, my man Brayden was on. He was, he's one of the people that think Triple H is something special. And yeah, Triple H has done a pretty good job so far. I will say that. Hey, sometimes I'm pretty harsh on the guy. I dog him out. But when it boils down to it, he's done a pretty good job. But a lot of that, man, I believe is built into the infrastructure of the WWE. No ins and buts about it. And, we was talking about it on Friday Night SmackDown. Last night we was talking about it. And we was talking, Chris and I was talking about, hey, I said, man, hey, maybe Tony Khan feels he doesn't really have any competition, because he doesn't. WWE, I know we have WWE fans and may have a couple of them on here right now listening to the program, but WWE is really not AEW's, AEW is not WWE's competition like a lot of people try to come out and say it is. TNA is not WWE's competition. They're competing against themselves, guys, and trying to do better week to week. And I'm pretty sure, man, a lot of that, that is something that's hard to do. I'm sure of it. Hey, so when you sit back and you think about it, you have to really watch how you come at these guys, man, because, hey, it really is a hard thing, man. Wait a minute, guys. I'm trying to find something here, man. What in the world did I do over here on Facebook? Because I need to share this, guys. So, hey, stick in here with me. Give me just a moment here. Let me see. Maybe I'll put it on Chris's page or something. So, just 1 second here. Was I supposed to be having something going on? Or maybe Facebook done blocked us all together, man. Maybe we can't put anything over on Facebook anymore. And if that's the case, then I'm gonna have to go ahead and switch and start going to Twitter or something like that. So that's just flat out crazy. So guys, give me a moment. No, it's not on Facebook. So guys, give me just a moment here, man. Wow, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. This thing should be on Facebook Live, man. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, Facebook is pretty much phasing everybody out, man, as far as using third-party apps or somebody trying to come on. So if we're going to do anything on Facebook, it may be something exclusive on Facebook, which I just don't know. I definitely would like to have a Facebook, a Facebook community, because we do have a community over there. We got a big community over there. So I would like to have our Facebook. I would like to be on Facebook too. But yeah, it seems that they're blocking it, man. They are blocking it over on Facebook. But hey, I was able to get in. Let me go ahead and share this so everybody over on Facebook can know that we are live, man. The Straight Up Wrestling Show is live. But guys, let me go ahead and talk about that Monday Night Raw, man. Let me go ahead and get through Monday Night Raw, man. Hey, I wish everybody here on Facebook, I came in late on Facebook. We already streaming on YouTube, and we're streaming on X, guys, formerly known as Twitter. But I just now came in on Facebook, and I just now got finished talking about Triple H and Tony Khan. But I'm gonna try to go back to that a little bit later, man. But let's get through this Monday Night Raw, man. And who was on the stream Monday night? No, I was ranting and raving about Triple H and how talking about everything that they was doing in WWE Raw, and talking about how I did not care for it. I didn't like it. All right, man. WWE Raw from April 22nd, 2024. The opening segment face-off between Damian Priest and Jey Uso. I gave it 2.8. I gave it 2.8, man. 2.8. So that's 3 stars, man. That right there was pretty good. I did like that opening. Segment. You know, that face-off. It was pretty good. So, hey, big ups to Raw. Big ups to the WWE executives and whoever's in charge who put that together. And because we know there's a lot of different people that's pretty much writing segments and handing it off to Triple H. You know, so Triple H is the booker, but when it boils down to it, he's getting a lot of different ideas from people. He's really not booking the show if you really think about it. He's just taking ideas and he's putting it all together, what he likes and what he doesn't like. All right, man. Then we had Awesome Truth entry, you know, his rap, man. I gave, you know, hey, I went ahead and I rated his rap. I gave that 3 and I gave that a 3.2. So that's 3 stars. Awesome Truth versus DIY, which was a pretty good tag team match. I gave it 2 stars, but still a good match. I thought it was a good match. You know, both of those teams, you know, veteran tag teams, and they've been together in the past, and I think both of them worked very good together. And so that was a real good match, you know, even though I only gave it 2 stars, and that's probably because it was kind of like a short match. It wasn't that short, but it was short. Next, we had Judgment Day, man. They backstage talk with Damian, JD, Dominic, and Andrade. You know, no, it wasn't Andrade. That wasn't Andrade. Who was that? That was Santos Escobar. I gave that a thumbs up. It was, you know, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was okay. It definitely was okay. The thing is, Dominic couldn't wrestle, so he brought in Santos Escobar and was telling Damian Priest, and he was telling Finn Balor that, hey, he's gonna take my place because I can't wrestle. You know, but Damian Priest didn't appreciate that. He didn't appreciate that at all because, hey, Dominic have been hanging out with those guys from the LWO. Is it LWO? Yeah, LWO. He's been hanging out with those guys, bringing them in the locker room and things like that. And Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and we know Mommy, man, Rhea Ripley did not like that at all. So, hey, Damian Priest did not care about that, man. And, you know, he had a few words to say to him about that. So, you know, but I definitely gave that a thumbs up. Like I said, it was okay, man. All right, Gunther and Imperium made Gunther look weak. I thought when they was walking out, Gunther looked weak, and that's not just because he didn't have his Intercontinental Championship. He doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship anymore. That's not the only thing that didn't make him, you know, that made him look weak. He looked weak. He really did. He did not look good. He didn't look strong. Maybe he should come out in more of a look with a suit on or something like that. You know, more of a how can I say it? You know, more of a casual look. That looked like he was just, I don't know, I guess you could call that casual, but it looked like he was just going to eat barbecue or something like that. Man, he just going out, hang out with some friends or whatever, and they could end up playing ping pong, tennis, basketball, or something like that. He did not look strong. I do like the outfits that Imperium was wearing, but Imperium come out, and like I said, man, Gunther just didn't look strong, man. He didn't look strong. That's just, I don't know how to word it. I have no other clue how to word that, but he did not look strong. You got to keep him looking strong after a long run like that with that Intercontinental Championship over 600 days. And man, he's just one of the best wrestlers in the world. No ins and buts about it, but you got to keep him looking strong. I'm talking about all the way up until his next run at the championship. It doesn't matter if it's a singles championship or a tag team championship. You got to continue to make him look strong, man. He cannot fall into obscurity. And I don't think he's going to do that, but you know, and made it look like he's a 2-star, 3-star wrestler just coming out here. He's just another wrestler. That's the way he looked. But he has to look like a superstar at all times, guys. Straight up. All right, next, man. Yeah, I only gave that. I gave that Gunther segment with Imperium. Gunther segment with Imperium was next. I gave it a 2.2 until New Day came out there and dropped it to 2.7. Okay, New Day, veterans and everything, but New Day, we've seen this time and time again as far as them interfering with something that Gunther's doing or the Imperium or whatever, and they went in there and they pretty much dog Gunther out, say, hey, you don't have the Intercontinental Championship, and they did a little dance or whatever. It made me laugh. I will say that it did make me laugh, but when it boils down to it, the more they talk, the more I didn't like it. I thought it was garbage. I gave it 1.5 stars, but definitely, I gave it 1.5 stars and definitely a thumbs down, man, straight up. All right, next, man, we had Drew McIntyre face off with Sheamus. I gave that 2.5 stars, guys. Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura was right after that. But yeah, that Drew face off with Sheamus, I gave it 2.5 stars. Basically, let's say that's a thumbs up. I didn't think it was great. It was just okay too. Next, man, we had Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Hey, I did not like it as far as Nakamura. I did not when we watched it Monday night. I was having a hard time. Like I said, I was looking for things. I was trying to fix certain things on my computer. So I was looking up every now and then. All I saw was Sheamus dogging this guy out. And then I saw the full match, in its entirety without any distractions or anything. And the match came out to be 2.5 stars. Nakamura did get his, he did get his shots in and everything. And I like that. I did like that. But I gave it 2.5 stars. Either way it go, they made Sheamus make Nakamura look weak. They made him look bad. And I still go back to a few months back. You had Shinsuke Nakamura putting on some of the best, they was putting on some of the best promo segments, those vignettes about him, man, and having him, do that, in his native language, doing that in the Japanese language. And they had, the words going across the screen. Very eerie, very, very terrifying as far as in wrestling and making a guy look strong, man. This guy was looking like the next great Muta, a great Kabuki or somebody. They had that locked. They had it locked, and they could have did something very special with it. And it's not just saying, hey, you do something special with just anybody. This is Shinsuke Nakamura, man. A great talent, probably one of the top talents when it boils down to it overall. I'm talking about talent-wise in the WWE. He is very talented, man. And you brought him out here, and I know you got to get Sheamus back over and everything. And he's always been a spotlight wrestler, but you shouldn't have to use Shinsuke Nakamura for it. So I give that 2.5 stars, man. I give it 2.5 stars. So it was okay. It's not a thumbs up, nor thumbs down. I give the match like a C-. All right, man. Then we had a recap of Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn, and Sammy's, and then we had Sammy's interview. Sammy's interview got 3.5 stars. The interference and attack by Bronson Reed gets a thumbs down. So they did have Bronson Reed come in there and attack Sami Zayn as he was in the back with an interview, and they was talking to him about Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed came back there and talked, and not like he wasn't going to do anything, turned around and attacked him. That was unneeded. It really was. I don't care. We had some people on the podcast talking about, it makes sense because Bronson Reed been trying to get that title for a long time. He's been vying for that title. He's fought Gunther and everything, and he's been trying to get that Intercontinental Championship. Doesn't matter. Sami Zayn just won the title. Sami Zayn already WWE. And we know WWE does not do well when it comes to trying to run 2 or 3 different storylines into one wrestler's profile. They do not do well with that. So, hey, they need to concentrate on one thing, man. So I did not understand that. So I'm giving that a thumbs down to what happened with Bronson Reed. Then, man, we had Chad Gable, Alpha Academy segment. I gave that 3 stars. Hey, Chad Gable, he was out there, man. He's dogging his people out, man. I mean, that's just flat out crazy. He's out there dogging his people out. He dogged out, pretty much. He got onto Akiri, Tozawa. He got onto Tozawa and pretty much dogged him out, called him a loser and everything. Said, I'm tired of you coming out here joking around, playing around, doing your singing or dancing or whatever he does. Told him, I'm tired of you doing that, and man, you just a flat out loser, So, and then he went and told what's that other girl? That other girl's name? Man, goodness sake, I get her mixed up sometimes. But hey, the model girl, man, I can't even think of her name right now. But told her she was pretty as very pretty or whatever, and just basically told her, man, he just basically, let me see if I can get her name here. He just basically told her, man, that she was not worth it. Yeah, he said he told her basically she's not worth it, man, and that she's just a pretty face, but stupid as a rock, dumb as a rock or whatever. Then he went to Chad Gable, who I would, who you would think he would treat like gold, man. Chad Gable, not Chad Gable, but Otis. Otis, he went to Otis, and you think he would treat Otis like gold, but he treated Otis like a piece of crap. Told Otis that he's the biggest disappointment of them all. And he's not reliable. He's just a flat out loser or whatever. And Otis just looked just all sad or whatever. And he told each and every one of them, hey, now you guys are going to do whatever it takes for me to get that IC title. And he made him say that. He made Otis say that. And Otis looked like he was about to cry, man, and said, whatever it takes, he went over with Otis. Said. So we'll see how that plays out. Should be a pretty good storyline, man. Definitely should be a pretty good storyline. I went ahead and gave that 3 stars. Guys, but give me just a second. I need to check something. Let's see. All right. All right. But yeah, I had to check something out real quick. But yeah. All right, man. So I definitely gave that. I gave that 3 stars. I said big ups to Chad for getting the fans riled up, and he did. And at that time, the fans did need something to rile them up, but he got the fans riled up during that segment, man. It was kind of cool. I thought it was okay. I did not like him turning on his crew. I didn't like that, but I still got the point of it, and it was pretty good. But you gotta give Chad something strong on his run to go after Sami Zayn and going for that title again. All right, man. Then we had Dominic Mysterio and Ricochet backstage face off. I gave it a thumbs up. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it'll do. And at the end, Liv Morgan showed up. So what does that mean? So Liv Morgan showed up during that segment, Ricochet and Andrade, and hey, well, actually she faced off, I think. Wait a minute. Let me see. What in the world's going on? Oh, yeah, she faced off with Dominic. She was looking at Dominic. So what do that mean? Is Liv Morgan going to be the leader? Is she going to be the new leader of Judgment Day? Is she telling Dominic, you're doing something stupid? What are you doing? Or whatever. But, you are now under my control. I'm the new mommy here or whatever. I have no clue. Yeah, it was, Braden. Yeah, it was cool. I did like that. But I have no clue about that, what's going to happen with that, Liv Morgan and that Ricochet thing. But I did give that a thumbs up, man. I did give it a thumbs up. Nia Jax's backstage segment, that was okay, guys. I thought that was okay. As far as the things Nia Jax is doing, she's, you can tell she done lost some weight or whatever, and she's doing pretty good as far as on her promo segments or interviews. She's doing pretty good. I do think they have a pigeonhole. She's doing, she's basically doing the same old thing. She's attacking people, man. She's attacking week in and week out. I mean, I understand that to a certain point, but you have to move on. And if you want to make her look strong, you can make her look strong by beating. There's a lot of women in WWE, all the way down to NXT. You can have her look strong by going through a series of wrestlers. They can use a lot of those segments of her going through a series of wrestlers to get to where she needs to get. And Becky Lynch has the title now. She can go through a series of wrestlers to get to Becky Lynch, and you can have Liv Morgan defeat a good bit of wrestlers, even though I don't care about Liv Morgan, and Braden, you know that. I don't really care about Liv Morgan, but a lot of people out here do. But you can have Liv Morgan taking out some people, and you can have a final culmination of those two getting into the ring and battling it out for the number 1 contendership for Becky Lynch. But we know they're just going to pretty much go ahead and do a fast track and go ahead and put those two in the ring with each other, man. All 3 of those in the ring with each other and have it that way, have it go down that way. But, man, hey, but yeah, they could do so much more with Nia Jax, man, in that angle. All right, so I give that a thumbs up, even though I didn't put anything here on my phone, wrote anything down. But Ricochet and Andrade versus JD Madonna and Santos Escobar, I get it 2 stars for that match, and I don't have nothing to say outside of what I said on the live show for the Aftermath. Priest jumping Ricochet in Aftermath. Not Aftermath. Ricochet and Andrade. Damian Priest came in, and he jumped those two, which was just flat out crazy, man. And look, I understand because Dominic, the dumb things that he's doing. He brought Santos into their locker room earlier, and Damian didn't want to have anything to do with that. So he went in there, he jumped Ricochet and Andrade. And in my opinion, hey, if Andrade had been there a little while longer, I know he's been in the WWE before, been there a little bit longer, and he was looking strong, and you came in there and did that. Still, I wouldn't want Andrade to get beat up. He dominated. He pretty much did something very quick. He dominated both of them, left them laying, both of those guys laying in the ring. And in my opinion, Ricochet being a surprise attack on Ricochet. I'm not going to say it hurt Ricochet at all, and I don't think it hurt Ricochet at all, but I think it hurts Andrade. It makes him look a little less than what he actually is. Andrade right now should not be being laid out by nobody. And that's a mistake that I think Tony Khan made with him over in, AEW. He did not make Andrade out to be this strong character. Andrade came in looking strong when he came in with Vicky Guerrero. He looked very strong, looked like he could pretty much take over the company. And I'm looking at him as a world championship contender, man. So that right there was stolen from him. And the whole thing in WWE, he's still a top 7 contender if you use him right. But they went ahead and made him look weak. And, I understand you're trying to get Damian Priest over. And the way to do it is have him take out strong people, but have him take them out in the ring, 101. You don't have to attack people like that. But I understand why you did it. I understand why Triple H did it. But when it boils down to it, man, logically, it does not make sense when you look at the full picture of it overall. Melanie McKeith is in the house, says, hello, Harry Bernard Taylor, wrestling den mother, here on Augusta Road, enjoying life, wishing y'all a blessed weekend. Love all wrestling and wrestlers in this world. No doubt about that, Melanie McKeith. Glad that you joined me over on Facebook. I'm glad that you're having a great time over there on Augusta Road. And yes, you're talking about somebody that love wrestling, Melanie McKeith. Glad that you joined. I'm just looking at everything. When I talk about when I talk about booking in professional wrestling, or I talk about storylines or whatever, I'm looking at long range. I never look at short range. And that's what I think a lot of people do. They look at the short product, what's going to happen in the short term. How can we draw a lot of people right now? How can we draw money now? You want to draw money now, but you want something interesting that could be long term. That could be a long term gain for the wrestling business. You want storylines, man, that's going to be legendary, like the Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine, the ear incident, where they fought for a long time. You want those type of storylines. You want the Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, I Quit type storylines. That's what you want. You want things that people are going to talk about years later down the road, and what's going to keep them interested in wrestling, or think that they want to go back to wrestling, or they want to invest in it, and they want to invest in it where they can have their family involved in it. That's how strong your storylines are going to be. Not something quick, something that's just pretty much thrown in the air or whatever. And I know it's harder work than what it looks, but the main thing about it is this, Triple H, you got your wife at home. I understand that. But when it boils down to it, wrestling is your whole life, man. It's been your whole life for a long time. And that's what you need to be concentrating on. You cannot sit here and say, hey, we don't have time to think about all this, because all the other paperwork, everything else in the executive part of WWE is handled by outside, other people. And I know you have assistants. You basically in control, you creative control. And I'm sure they have you doing other things. You look like you are the face of the whole company. So I'm pretty sure you're doing other things, and you teaching people that's just coming into the company that don't know things. But when it boils down to it, man, you have a lot of time to get this thing right, straight up. And so, that's what I'm looking at, man. That's what I'm looking at. And hey, you need to be held accountable. That's the way I look at it. You're gonna be held accountable for every single action that's involved, that your name is involved with in WWE. But it's involved with everything. Hey, you got your name attached to this era. So, hey, my whole thing is, hey, run it right, man. Run it right. That's all I really got to say. All right, man. Then Zoe Starks came out there with a promo where they did a Zoe Starks promo, talked about, she started out a year ago, and they went through everything that's been happening in WWE with her. and how she's performed. I thought that was a very good promo. So, that was very good. I give that a thumbs up. If I was going to rate it, I'd give that a 4.5 stars. That was very good. Well done by the WWE. Next, man, we had Candice LeRae, an Indy Hartwell interview segment interrupted by a backroom brawl between Nia Jax and Liv Morgan being broken up. Hey, I gave that a thumbs up. Like I said, even though Nia Jax, she was involved in a backroom brawl, I understand how that went down. And plus, like I say, it did pump up Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell's little interview segment, which was not, it was okay. Don't look like it was going to be that great. But I was kind of interested in seeing what Candice LeRae was going to say, because the whole thing about it is this: she's getting more props than what she actually deserves, man. Then, so they are giving her flowers that, hey, she shouldn't be getting right now. So I was into that, and I wanted to see exactly how they come off, guys. Give me just a moment here. All right, guys, I'm back. Let me finish this one off. Then I'm going to run through WWE real quick. All right. Okay, so that backroom brawl, and it was, then like I said, Nia Jax and Liv Morgan came in, and those two got into it in between their little interview segment. Definitely gave it a thumbs up, and that's because Becky Lynch got the mic and she pumped up Maxine Dupri, among other things. She had to say, yes, she told Maxine Dupri. Becky Lynch got in there and told Maxine Dupri, said, this is your first time, pretty much fighting for a chance to, to have a shot at the title. She said, and don't make it your last. Make them remember you. Make WWE remember you. And Maxine Dupri got in there. Maxine Dupri fought, man. She fought. She did really well in that, in that battle royal. But I give that segment, I give Becky Lynch a thumbs up for pumping up Maxine Dupri, and that's who Chad Gable got it, was talking about, and pretty much told her she's dumb as a box of rocks or whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said to her, but he pretty much dogged out. But Maxine Dupri, I forgot. I always get her mixed up with that Mariah May over there in AEW. All right, man. Then we had the women's battle royal. I had it at a 2.9, so I gave that 3 stars. And then I gave Raw 3 stars overall. I thought, I thought it was okay, but it was, it was lackluster. I really was, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll go ahead and roll with that. And hey, guys, let me get into this. Let me get into AEW, guys. AEW Dynamite. We know what happened as far as the big thing that happened late in the show, and that was Tony Kahn, pretty much Tony Kahn angle getting dumped on his head, pretty much getting punched in the gut by Jack, the returning Jack Perry. But man, I'm just going to run through these very quick, guys. And then, like I say, I'm going to come on a little bit later. And most likely I'll do Collision tonight. AEW Dynamite from 4/24/2024, guys. We had Trent Beretta attack on Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor incident. It gets 1.5 stars. Now, hey, Trent threw Orange Cassidy out from the back room, rolled him all the way into the ring, was just beating on him, called out, Orange Cassidy. I mean, not Orange Cassidy, called out Chuck Taylor, talked about how Orange Cassidy used them like they was luggage boys or something like that, treated them like they was dirt. And then he wanted to hug him, telling them, man, this guy ain't your friend. He never been your friend. He treated us like we was doggone. He treated us, man, like we was doggone squirrels or something out there trying to get a nut. But, and then Chuck Taylor came over there and very weak, man, threw an elbow. He had like he was going to hug because Trent had his arms out to hug him. And then Chuck opened up his arms to hug him. Chuck, instead of doing that, Chuck forearmed him, went and forearmed him and went for a punch or whatever and was going for a kick. Looked like the weakest kick I ever seen, but it looked so goofy, man, and silly. I gave it 1.5 stars. I did not like that. Did not like how it transpired, how they executed what they were supposed to do. So I gave it 1.5 stars. It could have been a lot better. Then we had the Jon Moxley segment. I gave that a thumbs up, guys. Jon Moxley came out there, said what he had to say, sounded pretty tough, and he was talking about his upcoming match with Powerhouse Hobbs. I gave it a thumbs up. Then we had Swerve Strickland. He defeated Kyle Fletcher, guys. That was an okay match. I gave it 2.5 stars. Kyle Fletcher, very good opponent, especially with Aussie opened his partner, but he ended up going down to the defeat of the world champion Swerve Strickland. And Swerve Strickland, I'm telling you like this, guys, Swerve Strickland did not look like a world champion, guys. They are not presenting him right. They're not presenting him as a world champion. We'll see how long he keeps that title. All right, man. Then we had the Thunder Rosa interview interrupted by Deonna Purrazzo. Gets 2 stars and a thumbs up. Very realistic. It was very realistic. I gave it 2 stars, but I do give it a thumbs up. All right, man. Mina Shikari or whatever, this new wrestler from Japan versus Anna Jay. I gave that match 2 stars. The aftermath attack by Anna Jay on Mariah May. The run-in by Toni Storm and Serena Deeb. Ramp talk gets a thumbs up. Yeah, so you had all that happening. You had an aftermath of that. That Mina Shikari, I can't remember her. I can't say her last name right now. Anna Jay match was a pretty good match, but then right after that, you had Anna Jay look like she's gonna walk out of the ring, she's leaving or whatever. She came in and she grabbed Mina, whatever her name is, Mina. She grabbed her and put her into that choke lock that she always say, "I'm gonna choke you out. I'm gonna choke you out." Was basically attempting to choke her out, and then that's when you had Mariah May come out, and she ended up getting Mariah May in that choke out too. But they ended up running. And then Toni Storm, she was dogging both of them out. Then Toni Storm came in and pretty much got Anna Jay out. And then Serena Deeb came out and she had her ramp talk, which was pretty good. And Serena Deeb said that title was coming to her. So Serena Deeb she's vying for the title and she definitely deserved it, man. A great female wrestler, one of the best in the world, if you ask me, straight up. Thumbs up to that. Then we had Willow Nightingale Championship celebration interrupted by Mercedes Moné, gets 2 stars. That was a pretty good celebration they had for Willow Nightingale. It looked like some kind of game show, man, or some kind of kiddie show or whatever, this thing with Willow Nightingale. But I do like the way Willow Nightingale was approaching it very professional, the way she came out, even though it's like, seemed like a game show or something. And Chris Statlander and what is his name, man? Chris Statlander and gosh, man, they Hathaway, Hathaway or Carmichael, Stokely Carmichael, Stokely Hathaway, whatever you want to call him this time. They was out there celebrating with her, and I thought it was going pretty well. Then Mercedes Moné had to come out there looking like a peacock, guys, with her hair color and everything, come out and basically complaining about what happened over in Japan, Strong Championship Wrestling, and talking about, hey, you might have done that on purpose or whatever. So those two right there, back and forth. So you better believe Mercedes Moné is going to end up with that title here sometime soon, man. But hey, I'm going to enjoy the brief run that Willow Nightingale has with that title. Then we had the gauntlet. We had a gauntlet match, man, with like 5 different opponents. That gauntlet match, I gave it 2 stars. I said, but it was a good match when it boils down to it. It was a gauntlet match for the number 1 contender for the international title. You had Ray Phoenix in it. I mean, you had Ray. Oh my gosh, man. I can't even remember everybody that was in that thing, to tell you the truth, but I gave it 2 stars. Sorry about that, guys. I'm in a little rush here because I got to go and pick somebody up. All right, we had Chris Jericho segment and face-to-face with Big Bill. I gave that 2 stars. It was lacking, but I can see where they're going with it, man, straight up. Will Ospreay interview with Renee, including Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher, gets a thumbs up. Don Callis was right, guys. Don Callis was right. When he was talking to Chris Jericho and about his legacy and everything like that. All right, let's see. And telling wait a minute. Okay. Got that. That's not what okay. Will Ospreay interview with Renee, including Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher, gets a thumbs up. I'm sorry about that. Don Callis was right. I'm talking about Don Callis was right when he was telling he was telling Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay talking about he don't want to do that move, man, that injured, that pretty much he used that move and it injured Bryan Danielson. He hurt Bryan Danielson in that pay-per-view, the recent pay-per-view that they just had, and he said he's not going to use it anymore. Don Callis said, "What are you talking about, man? You don't worry about all that. Hey, you just move on, and hey, this is the wrestling business." He basically told him, "This is the hurt business. That's what you do, especially as a part of the Don Callis family. We're gonna damage people. We're gonna hurt people. We're gonna do whatever it takes to stay on top." And all I can really say is Don Callis was right on that, man. Will Ospreay cannot be talking like that and be part of that family, man. No ins, ands, or buts about it. Then we had John Moxley versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I gave that 1.5 stars, guys. It was okay. Moxley put Hobbs out in a sleeper hole, and then we had Takashita come out, and he called Mox out after the match. But let's talk about Powerhouse Hobbs, guys. Let's talk about this match, okay? John Moxley, we know what he is. We know they're trying to get that IWGP title to make it look very strong, and it's always been a strong title. It really has. John Moxley has done his thing, and he's really pretty much got his flowers over in AEW. He's pretty much got his way. But Powerhouse Hobbs, man, they make him look strong, then they make him look weak. They make him look strong, they make him look weak. You taking things away from Powerhouse Hobbs. He shouldn't have went out like that, guys. No ends, ands, or buts about it. Sleeper hole, anybody can be put out in a sleeper hole. But if you're going to do that, man, have it be a knockdown, drag down wrestling match, and it wasn't a hardcore fight all the way to the end. It was not. And Powerhouse Hobbs, then he got taken out in a very lackluster match, man. 1.5 stars. He got taken out by that sleeper hole. I did not like that. Man, I feel bad for Powerhouse Hobbs when it boils down to it. But, hey, John Moxley, I don't take anything away from him, but Powerhouse Hobbs shouldn't have had to go out. He shouldn't have had to go out that way. Or went out very weak, if you ask me. Shibata's interview with Renee gets 0.5. Definitely a thumbs down, man. That right there, you had Shibata come out, and he was basically using his telephone for using his telephone to pretty much translate everything. It would have been okay. I would have thought it was okay when it boils down to it. If you just, getting it off to wrestling enthusiasts, people that watch wrestling or whatever. But what about if people come through that don't watch the sport or whatever, and they see that? Man, you need to have somebody who handles him, that knows the language or whatever, or somebody that can come out and speak for him if he can't speak the language, straight up. So it did not look good. All right, man, then we had the Jungle Boy attack on Tony Kahn, finished off by the Young Bucks. An appearance by Shad Khan gets 2 stars. It was kind of funny, but it was weak. Already talked about this, guys. And anybody that's been watching wrestling for the last couple years can see it was a cry out for ratings. I'm sorry. WWE ratings went down, and, not just talking about theirs. Monday night, we had Monday Night Raw. Those ratings went down bad. They dropped 100,000 people within that last hour. That don't happen with WWE. It's usually like 20,000 people, if that, during the last hour. They dropped 100,000 people. So the people thought the product was weak, straight up. And, hey, Monday Night Raw, it was not that good. Wednesday Night Dynamite, not that good. And at all. They dropped under 600. They dropped under 700,000. They did like 683,000 or something like that, but they dropped under 700,000. I'm not shocked that they dropped, but I did not think they would drop that much. And this right here, if it wasn't for the NFL Network, or ESPN, and he getting on there and doing that, I guarantee you they would not pick up, even though they're going with this angle of Tony Kahn getting hurt like that in his neck. They would not pick up anybody, guys. I look forward to pick up this week, but I look forward to drop back down maybe onto the 700s probably within a couple weeks, unless they get something spectacular. They got to bring something spectacular, man. They're going to have to build on that. You can do things like that, but you got to build on that. And as far as their history go, man, history tells us they do not know how to build on things that they have that's spectacular. They should have been building on this. They should have been building on Okada. They should have been building on Mercedes Moné. You need to concentrate on those things. Get those things ironed out before you try to go to something new. And I know that they need ratings, man. They definitely need ratings. But it is what it is when it boils down to it. All right. Melanie McKeith, hello again from Augusta of Greenville. Augusta Street, Greenville. This is Russell. Den Mother found out Val Venus added to the Gathering Fan Fest in Charlotte, North Carolina for August the 1st through the 4th. Okay, appreciate that, Melanie. Definitely appreciate you letting us know that. Should be an exciting event. So, hey, if you're a big wrestling fan out here in the upstate of South Carolina, Western North Carolina, anywhere in the surrounding areas close, hey, come on out, man, to the Fan Fest, man. To the Fan Fest in Charlotte, North Carolina, August the 1st through the 4th. Hey, get your stuff together right now if you're going to decide to do that, straight up. But because it can become a little costly, guys. But I appreciate everybody coming in, man. Hey, whatever platform you're on, if you haven't hit that like button, hey, hit that like button before I leave out of here. But I am out of here, man. Appreciate everybody on Facebook checking this out. And I came on Facebook late. Everybody on YouTube checking this out. I appreciate everybody, man. And I did come in here and I rushed in the last half, the last half of this. I rushed and so pretty much got jumbled up with a few things, but I got it done, man. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming in. But I am out of here. Stay straight up. Peace.